welcome to episode 23 of the Fools on a Hill podcast, where we bring you the latest news and our expert opinion on the newest releases in the world of music. I am your host, Cal, and I am joined as ever by Yanni and Liam. How are we, fellas?
Take a breath, Cal.
Thank you.
You okay?
Yeah,
I'm grand. It's gone a bit like a beetroot, but I'm fine, thank you.
I'm all good, thank you, mate. I'm all good. How are you, Yanni?
Oh, mate, I'm top of the world right now.
Oh,
This is my favourite time of the week, this.
Do you know what my
It's the
favourite time of
most-
the week is?
Go on.
What's the story?
Oh, shit. What's the story indeed, Cal? That's the time of the week. We've had one bit of news that we've noted down. There's probably been other bits of news in the world.
Nah.
India's not doing too great, I hear. But that's not music related, so we're not going to mention it.
That's true. We wish them well.
Doesn't matter to us.
Callum, speak
Me and
for yourself.
Liam
Jesus
didn't
Christ.
say that.
I care deeply and, wish our government did more to help. Anyway, talking about government helping,
Well, hey!
not much.
Not much, no.
Let's put a gig in a park and let's all just go and have fun and cough on each other.
I coughed on my friends. Now I'm coughing on each other.
And,
Everything is fine. Everything
yeah.
is fine.
Well, that's what they want us to think.
They,
Them
and Bill
the
Gates.
Blossoms.
Well, we'll actually introduce the news, I think.
Go on then. crack on.
Blossoms have done a gig at Sefton Park in Liverpool with Zuzu and the Lathams, however you want to pronounce that, under
don't.
a government pilot scheme where everyone who goes has to test negative on a COVID test, and then you can go in without masks, without social distancing, and it's just to see basically what the crack is, whether,
Yeah.
What the crap
I mean, I'm
is
sure
this? Yeah,
plenty
that's
of them did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've seen a few YouTube videos and everyone looks off their pants. It's quite funny.
Crack seems a bit heavy, actually. I don't think
Yeah,
there's much crack.
no, just a few E's.
Just a couple.
But yeah, I think it's important that live music does come back. You could see everyone was having a great time. But what I wanted to ask was, what do you boys think on the situation? I know you two are residents of Liverpool, so you technically could have gone.
Indeed. Indeed.
Did you not go because it was Blossoms and you weren't really asked? Or did you not go because you're against the idea and don't want to be a guinea pig?
I think if it was a band I really cared for, I would have considered it. But the fact it was Blossoms, I mean, I wouldn't have gone for it being Blossoms. But also, yeah, the guinea pig part of it, not necessarily being a guinea pig, but I just don't I just don't trust the whole idea of them. I guess, they have a negative test before they go in, which is all well and good. But now, if one of those was in the incubation period, or whatever it's called, and actually did have COVID while they were there, and like it spread across the whole place, obviously that's a risk. But the bit I don't understand is why they're not testing them afterwards.
They are.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
But they're
everyone.
not forcing them to have they're not like locking them down for 2 weeks, which is the incubation period.
Yeah, well, the gig was on the Sunday, and then they all had till the following Friday to give, excuse me, to give another test to see whether or not they were positive or negative.
But again, that's pointless because you could just go and do whatever you want in that week. It's just that is a completely redundant test on that next week.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
know
I
what I mean?
completely agree on that front. I think
So-
I think the actual process needs fine tuning, but
Mhm.
it's positive in it. Like we're not going to get anywhere
Yeah.
without these tests.
Well, let's hope it's not positive, because otherwise you've got COVID.
Yeah.
My thoughts on this are that I don't care.
Yanni doesn't care. Breaking
Don't
In
care.
what,
news,
in,
everybody.
in what sense don't you care? You don't care about the gig, or you don't care about the fact that people are going during the pandemic?
I didn't really care too much about the gig. I've genuinely not really felt any desire to want to go to a gig ever since this has
Yeah.
started. It's not been something that's been top priority for me.
Been a lot going on.
Friends and family, where it's at. A
look at me
gig
when you say
isn't
that.
really something massive for me. I mean, I think the last time I went to a gig, well, the last times I should say, I always just think I want to be on the stage rather than watching So I don't really feel like I'm missing out on much anyway. And it's difficult because I don't want to step on any toes, but I'm going to. Massive feet I've got. It's just huge. I'm always stepping on
Size
toes.
16.
But it depends what size you're looking at it at, because you've got to accept responsibility that you might get COVID, and if you're going there, you've got to accept responsibility that you may catch COVID from someone else.
Yeah.
So, but that's been my thinking of it since, well, I say day one, but like, you know, people meeting up with their family and stuff like that when they shouldn't have been. Like, it's also on the family to realise that, like, you're making that risk.
Yeah.
The only counter argument is that if then you're meeting other people, like through work, you know, you don't have a choice or whatever, and then you're passing it on, which is unfair to those people who don't have a choice if you have to meet up with them, kind of thing. For the only example I can think of is work. If you had to go to work, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or like a doctor's appointment.
Or doctors, yeah. But the whole thing about people saying, you know, uproar about it, because there's always people moaning, isn't there, wherever you look online. But it's good. People are enjoying themselves, which I think is a good thing. They should be. And
I disagree.
well, yeah, of course. And like I say, it's their responsibility to understand that, yeah, they may get COVID, and yeah, they may have to then isolate and whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think it's important that the government are actually doing something, because they've neglected the arts, really, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, more than neglected. Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, exactly. But so it's positive in that front. But I also then think, you know, we still can't legally see our family inside, and just things like that. I don't know. I know you need to carry on for the economy and all that, and this is a great step in the right direction. But like you say, Yanni, as much as I've missed going to gigs, I've not really gone to bed and been like, oh, I can't wait to go back to a gig.
Exactly, yeah. It's even if this wasn't during, like, if this had just been after, like, they've let down restrictions, I probably still wouldn't go.
No.
Like, I still don't. I'm not really that
Rush
arsed.
into that.
Yeah, no, I'd
Because
definitely
it's always
be.
going to be a risk.
I'd definitely be skeptical. Yeah.
There was also, we should mention, because it is a music thing, there was a rave as well in Liverpool.
Yes, there was, yeah.
Which was for the other musical group, not just
Literally,
the indie
they're the
heads.
two music scenes in
Yes,
Liverpool. That's
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Ravers and indie.
Long-haired Callums.
Yeah, bucket hat wearers.
Can't find any that fit my head.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just like a kipper for you, isn't it? Anyway,
Bloody hell.
so that's been our news.
I just want to say, I just want to ask a question.
Oh, you can't.
Does
Sorry,
anyone-
we've gone past it.
Does anyone know why it was Blossoms? Like, was it instigated from their label, or did the government pick Blossoms? Or
I have no idea really, because
No.
the whole point of the thing was for people from Liverpool to go, and it to be from one area, and it be just like, you know, one big test. But I also know people in the crowd who weren't from Liverpool, so it just seems a bit pointless. But no, you'd think they'd have got a Liverpool band. Zuzu, who opened, is a Scouser. The Lathams, I don't think are. So I don't know why the
yeah, it does seem
Blossoms.
strange.
It does seem strange, but you know.
Does seem strange. Yeah, I think a positive step forward. But really, in terms of a government pilot scheme from their side, was pointless in my eyes. I don't really see how they can get anything beneficial in terms of data from that. So it was pointless.
No, I do
If they
agree.
did
I
it
think,
properly, then maybe it would help moving forward. But I'm glad people enjoyed themselves.
I think there should have been more
hopefully it was
stringent after measures, which is what
Definitely.
Absolutely.
That, I think then it would be like, okay,
Like, realistically, they should have all been right. You can't leave your home now,
yeah,
and we're going to test you in 2 weeks within, over the next 2 weeks. And if none of them got it, then bang on. That means that
bang on.
bang on.
It's a
They can do more
logistical
of
night.
these where you're negative beforehand, you stay negative afterwards. Then there's no problem, is there? Essentially,
Yeah, it's a
but there's
logistical
no way they
nightmare, though, isn't it? Keeping everyone.
It is. Maybe they should have done a smaller one. They could have done 40 people. You know what I mean? Like a gig, smaller 40 people.
Yeah, it does seem
like
it does
they're
seem
doing-
strange that they went from 0 to 5,000. Sorry to cut across.
Trying to kill off Liverpool.
Um,
probably.
I didn't, because there was a Barcelona one, wasn't there? That they did not so long before this. Where it's the same thing, but they had like 30,000 people.
Oh, I
Jesus.
don't know.
So probably should have looked into that
Yeah, you
further.
probably should not.
To see what the results of that were, but I know it was for the same reason. Sorry, 5,000 people, I should say, not 30,000. That would be mad. They still wore masks
Oh, okay.
for that. But when you're in that close proximity, does it matter?
I think it would make some difference. Would it make much of a difference? I mean, I think if you were to talk like percentages, it would save a certain percentage of infection rates, even within a close encounter.
According to the BBC, no sign of infection after test concert in Spain, researchers say.
Oh.
Oh, that's very, very good then.
Good stuff.
So, yeah.
However,
That's
I
it.
can fully imagine that the Spanish government are a lot more competent than ours. So
I mean, any government at this point, to be honest. Apart
But
from-
yes,
See.
I think we should stop playing scientist and
I
go
am a
back
scientist.
to what we do best, talking shit
Doctor.
about music.
Yes.
Oh, it really is what we're best at, isn't it? And so let's move on to the next segment. What is it? What is it, Yanni? Is it?
Oh, it's a little bit hot. Oh, it's a little bit hot off the press.
Hey, Callum. Callum. Hey, Callum.
Hi, Liam.
Talk to me. Tell me. Is it?
I mean, some would say it's red hot.
Oh,
Oh,
go on.
I would
bloody
not.
hell.
I've listened to Girl in Red's album, If I Could Make It Go Quiet.
Go on.
That would have been nice if I could have made it go quiet. That would have been
Yep.
thoroughly enjoyable.
Bingo.
I messaged in the group chat yesterday after listening to the first track, Serotonin, saying I can't tell if this is interesting or horrific.
What was the conclusion of that?
It was pretty horrific.
Okay.
I mean, the song
Brilliant.
Serotonin itself was all right, I
Give you
suppose.
serotonin? What is, I don't know what serotonin is.
I think it's. Oh, I don't know. I think it's like a
Back to
positive.
science, everyone.
Yeah.
Serotonin is.
I didn't think it was too bad, but there was one part when they were going into the chorus, and instead of writing more lyrics that fit the melody, they just made a noise that just went like blah 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 blah. blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That was the only song I listened to, and
really
that was
wound me up.
what caught
that-
me off guard.
That really did make me toes curl. And I also deduced that just a bit of a B-Tech Lord, don't you think?
Wow. Spot on.
Yeah, do we
Spot on.
agree?
I should say, Lord's in the studio apparently.
Yes.
Long-awaited third album.
Yeah.
Working with Jack Antonoff, I believe. 70s.
Fucking hell, he's-
Jack
works with
Antonoff
rock
gets
people.
where water doesn't.
Yeah.
He is everywhere.
Correct. He's like a bloody woodlouse.
Moving on to the next track, Did You Come?
Yes.
So similar to Serotonin. It is the same song. Melody-wise, it's ridiculous. And I hated the fact that it felt like she was swearing for being edgy's sake.
No, that is.
Do you remember-
pretty edgy, mate.
When we spoke about Bieber Doobie
England.
and the start of the
Bieber
video
Doobie.
was getting high, motherfuckers, and it was
Oh,
just like,
okay.
yeah, it was, you know how like, it just feels really forced. That's
Yes.
what it felt like throughout this album.
Yeah.
There was a song called like "Stupid Bitch" or something.
Yeah. I was just looking for the song names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from here on in, the album just descends into a cacophony of forgetfulness.
Oh,
Um,
nice
yeah,
word,
thank you.
Callum.
Thank you.
Bloody hell.
That was off the
Don't
dome.
start there.
You can go and have a look at my notes. That's not there. That's off the dome. That is. But I also think this is TikTok's wet dream. This album. We're all going to be hearing
yeah.
our girlfriends flicking through TikTok, just hearing "I'm a
Don't say
stupid
that.
bitch" or whatever the lyrics of that song are. It's just gonna happen for like months now. Yeah, "I'll Call You Mine," I think is the name of a song towards the end, and it brought it back a bit. It was a bit more interesting. But overall, the album was extremely underwhelming, very corny, too much angst for my liking, and very, very meh. So, with that in mind, I'm going to give it 2 fools out of 5.
2. Wow,
2.
I would have thought you were all for the angst, Cal. You're a very angsty guy.
There's one
Yeah,
thing
when
to
it's
say about
delivered
Arcal.
in a nice
It's
way that
angsty.
doesn't make me feel like an Avril Lavigne bin-off.
Oh, you're really bringing in these names to tear this young artist down, aren't you, Callum? That's very unfortunate.
I know. I do feel a bit harsh because I've not been very pleasant there,
Should.
but I mean,
You can only tell the truth.
that is correct, Yanni.
Right, that's it, mate. That's
That's
it. You can't lie.
It's
not
impossible. He's like
impossible.
Jim Carrey in that film,
in that
Bruce
film.
Almighty. He just can't lie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's back to you in the studio.
Did either of you
Um,
listen to it? I don't know why I'm asking because I know the answer.
Yeah, no. I listened to that first song that you
Yeah.
mentioned, and I also picked up on the just mumbling into the chorus.
Horrific, so bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
I listened to it while stripping wallpaper, and I
Da-da,
carried on stripping wallpaper. I preferred the wallpaper stripping than the song.
Wow.
If that says enough for you.
Yep.
I believe Girl in Red. I feel like I've seen the name bopped.
Bad.
Bop it.
What was I trying to say? Bouncing around here and there among certain circles.
You're in some seedy circles, though,
I'm in
mate. So
yeah, listen,
you're gonna have to be a bit more specific than that, mate.
But yeah, it wasn't anywhere near what I was expecting from what I've kind of picked up on in terms of the hype.
Yeah,
But,
you said
yeah.
to me, Girl in Red might be something you're interested in this week, Cal. And from that, I have deduced you've never listened to Girl in Red before in your life.
Nope. I think I listened to like 3 seconds of the 7th song or something. That's usually what I do.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Tell me what you've been
Thanks-
listening to this
thanks,
week, Liam, please.
I've been listening to a man dressed as a woman. Also as a drag queen by the name of Trixie Mattel.
That did sound very like...
No, there's a reason.
Don't be
Go
telling them about my Saturday night.
Yanni has released an EP. No, I've listened to Trixie Mattel's new EP, Full Coverage Volume 1. This is a covers EP, 4 tracks. And I was going to say, yeah, I've only picked up an EP this week because I'm quite busy doing other things, but I'm going to run through in as much detail as I can. So there's 4 covers here. As I say, this is by Trixie Mattel, drag queen.
Yeah, you've already said all
I've
that, mate.
mentioned that.
New points, please.
New points. So the first track is Video Games, as we all know from Lana Del Rey a few years back. A track that I really liked when it came out.
Yeah,
Still really like.
So do
It's
I.
very good. Very
better
good
than
song.
the new
Voice-
stuff.
Absolutely. Her voice is really good on it. Trixie Mattel's version of this track is quite a bit faster, but I don't know. I think it really works, and I think her voice really works for it as well. I find it kind of nicer to listen to and kind of sing along to, as I did in the car earlier, because it's a bit quicker. Kind of works with that. But I really like what Trixie does with it. In terms of countrifying it, I guess is Trixie's usual genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it works really well. I think it's beautiful. I think the instrumentation's really well done. Trixie uses a harpsichord, I think is the word. No, omnichord.
No.
Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to keep saying no. Oh, bloody hell. I've forgotten what it's called. Harpsichord or an omnichord, one or the other.
Triangle.
No, it's not a harpsichord because that's a sit-down instrument. It's a holdable instrument. That's not the key I want to press.
Cajon.
Omnichord. It's a kind of you hold it and press the buttons, but I think it's not an omnichord because it has real strings. Also harp, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? And there is the part right at the beginning where it sounds like one of the wrong notes being hit, and that comes through a few times, and that kind of bugged me. But I don't know if that's just me being ridiculous. This single came out
Probably.
a fair while ago. Video Games. We're still on the first one, by the way. If you're keeping up. It came out back in September, so I did hear it back then, I wasn't a massive fan of it then, but listening back now, I quite enjoy it. Second track is Blistering the Sun from Violent Femmes from the 80s or something around then. We've covered this on the podcast. This is a great track. Great bit of surf rock. Cam's doing all the right dance moves here, all the snorkel, the squiggly line finger over your eye situation. Yeah, all that. It's a great time. It's a really good cover. A bit faster again from the original. I was watching a video about the original song from Violent Femmes, and the singer, they're both, all the guys in the band are men, and the songwriter, the singer-songwriter said that he originally thought this would be sung by a female, and it wasn't sung by a man in a dress, but close enough, I guess. But yeah, so the lyrics are kind of talking about a man when the guy was straight, as far as I'm aware. And so it works.
God, blasphemy.
It makes sense for a drag queen to sing it. And I thought one of the lyrics was quite funny, talking about, I can't remember what the exact line is, but something about the man having big hands. It's quite funny because Trixie Mattel's is known for being like 6'2", like massive.
Big hands.
With big hands, yeah.
But it feels tiny.
They joke about it a lot, so I thought it was quite funny. But yeah, really good cover. Again, instrumentation's spot on. Vocals work really well. Next track up, we have Believe by Cher. This is a fantastic cover of this song, I think, personally. I think it works it really well. I'm going to steal a word from an article. Go on, Yanni, you going to ask a question?
No.
Okay. I'm going to steal a word from an article I read earlier. It's a deconstructed version of Believe. I think that's spot on. Built from the ground up. Trixie doesn't try and do the typical sure voice or anything like that. None of that happens.
Voice? What voice, mate?
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
That's how she sings. Really makes it her own. Again, the instrumentation, a bit more countrified.
Stop saying countrified. You said it twice, and it's
all countrified.
Twice too many.
But I really particularly enjoy the bridge. Whereas I know that I'll get through this. That part.
Fucking down chairs in the room.
I know that I'll get through this. Because Trixie sings it like lower and makes it feel a lot more kind of like reflective and softer, I guess. It really changes the tone of the bridge, but makes it feel a bit more. It resonates a bit better, I think, in terms of what's being said.
Does it get you right there?
Gets you right there.
Yeah.
Gets you right there. And I think it was a really clever move to do that. So again, a really good cover of a track. I've got to say, it's really good. And then the last track is Jackson, which features Orville Peck, a cover of the Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash song.
Are you saying words?
June Carter Cash. I really like Johnny Cash. Grew up with Johnny Cash, and so I
Did you?
this song.
Fuck out. Who's in your house?
Yeah,
Bit odd.
He's me uncle. He also worked in a PlayStation.
What?
Sorry, that was a stupid joke.
Yeah, it was stupid. You idiot.
But yeah, this is featuring Orville Peck, who I've never listened to before. I believe he is a kind of country western singer, I guess, in the modern age. Always wears like a fringe mask and a cowboy hat as part of his look. And yeah, I think the vocals work really well together, his and Trixie's. Again, the instrumentation is pretty as it was, as far as I'm aware. It's pretty standard kind of. Bass goes boom, 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 boom the whole way through. It's not really anything difficult. But yeah, the vocals work really well, and obviously the point of the song is it's kind of back and forth, and they do that really well. Yeah, it's great. That's it. There's 4 tracks. It's worth a listen if you know the songs. It's definitely worth a listen. I was trying to work out why these songs. I think I found a link for all of them, but I mean I don't know how tenuous these links are. But video games. I was trying to think of like Lana Del Rey, and I couldn't really work it out. But I know that Trixie Mattel plays video games, is into video games, which I guess within the scene she's in isn't kind of a common thing. Streams on Twitch and stuff like that. So I thought maybe that was the link there. The song Blistering the Sun, the band Violent Femmes are from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is also where Trixie Mattel's from. So there's a link there. Believe by Cher, drag queens love Cher. Cher it's just the fact of your Drag Race. Cher is known as a gay icon, so I guess that's just a pretty standard. And from what I've seen of things of Trixie, she does quite a good Cher accent, Cher impression, like me, as you heard earlier. And then Jackson, I don't know. It's just a country. It's just a good kind of country song, I guess. So I don't know what the link is there necessarily, but
Brilliant.
But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. That was all off the dome. No notes.
Imagine what it would have been like if you had notes. Fucking hell.
Yeah, it would have been 20 minutes shorter. So I'm going to give that a solid 4 out of 5. I'm not going to give it a 5 because it is only 4 songs. But
Start a song.
if there was an album of this, I would give it 5 stars, I think. I don't really see.
All killer, no fella.
But exactly. And I'm looking forward from this. I'm guessing there's going to be more. It's called Volume 1. I assume there's going to be more cover EPs, which is cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, she's got a lot to pick from, hasn't she?
There are a lot of songs.
I'm sure she can countrify some
Could try
more
anything she
songs.
wants.
Yeah.
I also want to say that the cover is just doesn't fit. Doesn't fit at all.
Describe it to people who can't see it right now.
It's a blue background, kind of a teal, I guess you'd say. Full coverage in similar, different shades of the same colour. And then it's Trixie Mattel sat on the floor with her legs to one side, kind of crossed over each other, wearing, I believe, heels. And her skin is all red, like a bright kind of lobster red, and the heels are also red, and has a towel around her body and head, which is this kind of similar teal to the rest of the background, and it doesn't look good at all.
Thanks, Liam, for that insightful bit of news there.
Thank you for listening.
It's my turn, everyone.
Yanni,
Hello.
hang on. Do you have any thoughts on Trixie?
Absolutely not, no. I have not listened to it.
Listen to it?
No.
It's
I remember liking the Blistering the Sun.
Blistering the Sun. Callum, have you got any thoughts?
Yeah, I mirrored yours, funnily enough. But
Oh,
no, seriously, Blistering the Sun slaps.
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 Baby. So, Yanni, what have you been listening to? Go on, tell us.
Third time's the charm, eh? I've had the pleasure of listening to Juan Hortas. That's how you want to pronounce it.
Yep.
Don't know why you would. Or Juan Hortas. The album was Real Life Situations, and this is an odd one. I didn't really know what to expect. We've listened to Real, which was on featuring Mackie D, the Mac Daddy, Mac DeMarco. And I like that one, especially in the second half of that. It really picks up, and I do like it. Cal, you're pulling many a face.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
No, well, each to their own, eh? Each to their own. It's my turn to speak now, lads. You're right. Not done individual notes, so you had a very perspective. Collective. No. All around, it was a very enjoyable listen. It was a very happy record, musically, and I wouldn't really say that this would be something that I'd associate myself with, but I've enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. Maybe I was just in need of an album that just was sort of carefree, because I've not had my Mac DeMarco fix in a while. Maybe it was that, because it is quite similar to some Mac DeMarco in the genre, I suppose. I think they're both on captured tracks. Oh, well, unless Mac's doing his own label now, which I think he is, but whatever. And obviously he features on the song that I mentioned previously.
Aforementioned.
Alluded. I've just put all the songs quite charming in their own right. A lot of them are in Spanish, I believe.
That was easy for you then, Yanni, as a...
Sorry?
multilinguist. Linguist.
As a multilinguist, I obviously understood every single word. It
Polyglot.
all really rung true with me. No, a lot of it I didn't understand, but I didn't feel like I needed to. It was just happy music, and in current times, this was very nice to have. Because I felt like most of the stuff we've listened to, when it's not been Drag Race, it's all been a little bit, well, not overly doom and gloom, but there's not been too much just like carefree, happy music been brought out at like recently,
Yeah.
and this was a good change of pace, change of tune. Favorites would still be Real, Locura, if that's how you pronounce it, and Estas Escuchando.
Yeah.
Seamless.
Yes, couldn't even tell. Juan's in the room, eh?
Say his name again.
No, there's a lot of skits in this, which
Okay.
I think have I said this on the podcast before? I hate.
You said this last week, I think,
Yeah,
or maybe the week before.
yeah, I hate them. They are pointless in this because I can't understand a single word that's being said. They're even more pointless to me. And most of the songs aren't that long, so without them, well, together this album is 33 minutes. So without the skits, it'd probably be about 20 minutes. But yeah, I still don't like skits. I've realised, not for me. It's worth mentioning this is his 5th solo album. I've never listened to anything of his before, and so his voice did take a little bit of time to get used to, because it's not the best. But again, just quite charming. As with the music, I think it just all comes together. I've enjoyed myself listening to it, and I think if I'm ever in a bad mood, I might whack this on, because it is just happy music. Don't know what he's saying lyrically. It could be about killing someone. I don't know. Don't care. That doesn't matter to me. Yeah. Does anyone else listen to this? I'll rate it first. One more time.
Yeah, go on.
I will. That's how we do it.
Reason.
4 out of 5. Why not? Go on then. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Quattro.
Really enjoyed myself. I've never felt happiness like this in my life. Go on, people talk.
Would it be fair to say it's a very positive album? It seems
You know what, Liam? I would say it's fair.
it's kind
fair's
of like,
fair.
It's looking for the kind of positivity in life that we all need at the moment. I haven't listened to it, so but no, I have listened to Real, which we have listened to before, and I listened to that again, and I also listened to Monsoon with Home Shake, which is also a very good track. But that's all I listened to really. I had a quick flick through before I told you to listen to it, as the boss, and noticed there was a lot of skits and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad it gave a ray of sunshine into your otherwise gloomy life.
Cal.
Well, I have been very lax on the old listening front this week. I have listened to everything.
Who do you think you are?
Apart from, well, Liam was originally going to do a different album, but that's besides the point.
Oh,
And
you don't have to throw me under the bus like that, Callum. Come on.
No, there was point to it. I hadn't listened to that, and I also didn't listen to Yanni's album, but I tried to put this one on, and I just couldn't really be bothered. I can imagine it'd be enjoyable. I can see that, but I just wasn't in the mood.
Because I can't understand what you're saying half the time, like I've said. It is one just to have on the background.
Yeah.
100%. But yeah, that's all I'd say really.
That's all you
Lovely.
have to say, mate.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah, so that was our picks, our individual picks. Now we've got singles, unless Liam wants to interrupt me.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I originally had a different album, which I listened to once.
And what was that?
It was Teenage Fan Club's new album, Endless Arcade.
And from your brief listen, what would you say? 2
Good.
words. Oh, you've used one.
Fuck, that wasn't a good one. That was another 2. You didn't let me know these rules beforehand.
3 then.
Solid.
Okay, one more.
Dull.
There we
Good,
go.
solid, dull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good. I'll just say it was good. It was a
Solid
band
and it was
I've listened
dull.
to before, and all the songs were well done. Instrumentation's really good. Enjoyable listen, but not much happens.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
Thanks, Tim. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The
Please say again.
singles. This one, kind of not really singles. The first one, it's Metronomy. It's the extended cuts, or they're all labeled outtakes, aren't they? I think.
Yep.
From the 10th anniversary of Liam.
The English Riviera.
There we go. That's the one. There's only 6 songs.
Yes.
2 of which,
3.
3 of which are instrumentals.
Yes.
I'm
2
glad
of
you
which
know what I'm
have
home.
already been released.
3 of which, 2 of which have already been released and we've already covered.
Yes.
Being Picking Up For You and Friends last week, I think.
Yes, that's sweet.
So I guess we can quickly say I think they're both really good songs. Does anyone disagree?
No.
We all agree they're pretty
Do
good
not
songs.
disagree.
They're pretty good songs.
And then the newest, well, the only new one essentially of the full songs that we haven't listened to before is the Ballad of the 17-Year-Old. Thoughts?
It was okay.
Oh, okay.
It was alright. I either find Metronomy songs to be alright or I really love them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're never bad.
No. So that's my thoughts on it, really.
I can't claim to know the difference between the lot because I had the one in the background, and I mean I know 3 of them had no words and one of them did, but they've all molded into one. But the whole lot of the 6 I thought were really good. We all know I'm not really as much of a
Clued up.
Metronomy fan. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
that's the word. That's the word. As you two, but I liked it a lot. I thought it was a shame that some of them were instrumentals because there was one, the name I can't remember, but I thought it was a really, really great idea, and I would have liked it to have been fleshed out a bit more. But
Well, I don't know if this was originally what it was called, but the first one is Aquarius, which is funny because the next album is called Liam.
Love Letters.
Yes, and what song does it feature?
And what was the first song?
What is it?
No, it's not. It's the second song. I'm Aquarius.
So
it's nothing like it.
yeah, I thought this was going to be a demo
I
of
did.
that song.
I saw it and I thought,
It wasn't.
this is cool. It's nothing like it at all. I personally quite like the Ballad of the 17-Year-Old. It's very first album.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
said
second
that,
album,
didn't
Nights
we?
Out. Very much like that. It could have fit on the album very well. I think just the instrument. Oh God, I'm loving this word today. The very kind of what would you call that?
What are you doing?
Kind of match. There's like 2.
Liam, stop touching yourself,
It's
please.
like a guitar and a keyboard matching each other the whole way. That's a very Nights Out kind of thing.
Staccato.
Staccato, yeah. Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, that's it. Other than that, it's the 10th anniversary. It was ages ago. We've already talked about it. Great album. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. The next one, which is my favourite of the week.
Oh, alright.
Hands up, hands down, hands side to side.
Yeah.
Warpaint are back. I only went and bloody asked for it at the start of the year. Do you remember?
Cheeky
I said,
beggar.
I hope Warpaint release something, and they've fucking well done it. They listened to us.
bloody hell.
Bloody
Just for you.
Just for me and the HBO TV series or thing. Is that what it means?
I don't know.
Is it for that?
Made for Love.
Yes. Anyway, the song is Ladies. It does say in brackets HBO Made for Love cut, so I presume that's something
it's a
on
TV
the.
show.
There we go. Here's our informant, Liam Godfrey.
Liam Godfrey on the mic.
This sounds incredible. The bass is orgasmic, and that's right. That's the word I'm using.
That's correct. It's the right word.
And it sounds like a step forward for Warpaint.
Yeah, it's an interesting direction. I think we said this when we listened to it. It's an interesting step forward from the more recent kind of poppy stuff they've been doing.
Yeah.
Poppier stuff, I guess. It's a bit more exquisite corpse sounding, I guess, in a way.
I got the vibes of I'll Start Believing from this. A bit more darker.
I don't know what song.
You would do if you heard it.
Sorry?
No, it's only to apologise for
What
not
did you
talking
just
about that
call
band.
What did you just call me?
Dickhead.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it too. It's a smouldering track. But I mean, hope more stuff comes from it. It's for this TV show. I hope that's just not like a one-time thing. But I guess we'll find out.
We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But Warpaint, if you listen to me again, please release an album.
Please do.
All to this level.
This level.
All to this level. Callum, what did you think of this?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Again, I'm not really as clued up on Warpaint as you two, but what I've heard I really, really like, and this is no different.
Well, that's bloody good. See Hills,
Fantastic.
see Hills, Jenny Lee, if you're listening. Hi.
Hey.
Yes, that was the Warpaint song, which, like I say, is my favourite of the week. Don't know about you guys. Next one is Brooke Coombe.
Yeah, Coombs. That's
Coombe.
what I'd go with.
Is
Yeah.
it Coombs?
Coombe. I don't know if it's plural or if there's just one of her. I don't know.
No, it's comb. It's actually comb. There's only one O. So
Is
if
there?
it's wrong.
Oh,
it's
well,
Brooke
thanks for
Combe.
setting me up for
Or
failure there,
com,
people.
Maybe. Combe.
Combe.
Harvester.
The song is Are You With Me? My thoughts on this are no, I'm not with you after I listened to it.
Yeah.
Heard songs like this a million times before. This is nothing new and did not tickle my ivories in the slightest.
I'm going to just step in and say I agree. I think it's a good one of them. But it doesn't, it's not. It's fine. If it was on the radio, I wouldn't turn off.
Oh, I would.
I'm gonna step in and say I disagree, and say that
Oh,
although
God.
I've heard it a million times before, I still really liked it, and I thought she had a cracking voice.
Well, why
She
don't you
did have a
marry
cracking
her?
voice.
God.
Actually reminded me a little
That's
bit of Rebecca Ferguson.
Wow, what a blast from the
If
past.
anyone's ever listened to that. The Scouse Enchantress. Some great tracks. Great tracks. I'll do them in the car for a bit. Next up.
Next up, it is Little Mix with the song Confetti. Liam will vouch for me when I say this. Does this song want to start like?
I just heard it was on, and I just heard from a different room. Does this song want to start?
Like,
Oh, that's all he said.
there's a definitive point in it where you're like, oh, it's going to kick in, and then no, nothing happens.
Yeah. Drags its feet.
Exactly, Liam. It drags its bloody feet. It's 6
But-
feet. It
But I
drags
don't
them.
know, I'm listening to it now, and it starts at the right point.
Nah, mate.
So I don't know if you had.
Listen to it for the first time.
I don't know if you had the radio on mix where they have to like talk over the intro and then they have to line it up. 'Cause
Nah.
yours- what you
I
were
listened to
listening
the official music video one,
Right, so it might be because it's a music video then.
potentially. But yeah, I don't know who put this in. Don't know why they put it in. I did not like this. It's pop. So if you like pop music, you'll like this. If you don't like pop music, then don't listen to it because you won't like it. Simple as. Anyone else?
No,
Possibly.
I agree with you.
Was it not put in because it had drag queens in it, Colin?
Oh, yeah, that's why. Because
Yeah.
Karis was like,
That was
oh,
it,
Little
really.
Mix have released a new tune, and Bimini's in the video. Forgot to watch the video, didn't I? But I listened to the tune.
Well, it
I
was
also-
kind of reverse drag because they were dressed as men.
Yeah, they were drag kings. That's the thing.
Well, I know it's the thing. I've watched it.
No, I'm just saying because you said reverse drag. I'm just telling you that's what it's called. Drag.
They did the reverse Uno card on
Yeah,
Drag
that's
Queens.
Yeah, it was featuring Bimini and also a horror, I think.
I think it was Taste in it as well.
Oh, on Taste. I haven't actually seen the video. I just saw, I think on
When
like
you
the
assume,
Spotify little.
Liam.
Oh,
He just makes an ass out of himself
Alright,
all the time.
okay.
You farted again.
No,
You stink, man.
it's food cooking outside. You just got psycho nose.
Right.
Psycho nose.
Let's move on to the saviour of the week. 21 Pilots with the new tune Choker. I hated every second of this, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Oh.
No.
Well,
Shit.
to be controversial, I did not hate this.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
It's
didn't hate
so
it.
generic,
Why not?
Yanni. Oh, it's so
I
boring.
didn't hate it.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
I said it sounded a little bit like in the verse, naughty's like dance pop tune that you hear on the radio.
Drum beat.
It was more like the synth in the
like a
background or something. Don't know, like a repetitive kind of thing going on. But yeah, I didn't hate it. I don't know why, because well, I've clearly come into this open-minded because I normally would hate 21 Pilots,
Yeah.
but just goes to show that I'm not one-track minded,
Yeah.
like,
You
like they all say.
You say you'd usually hate them, but have you ever listened to anyone about it?
Not in full, but I've heard the odd songs. Obviously, we've had to cover them before, and I've not liked the other stuff.
Yeah, I think
But
there
this
is
one-
or two.
You liked the last one, I'm sure you did.
Probably just thought it was all right.
Yanni's buzzing for this album. Confirmed
Never.
right now. I think it's out
Okay.
next week. Or
Lock
the
it
week
in.
after.
I'm actually not covering it.
I'm
not covering
It's our album spotlight. I didn't love this track.
Wow, it's just me.
Although just listened to it very quickly back, I noticed that kind of mid-noughties Euro dance. And,
Eurodance.
thought it was pretty good, actually. So maybe it'll grow on me. Yeah, I don't think it's my favourite of what I've heard from them, which is more than both of you. But yeah, I think they're very competent songwriters. And I think that always works.
I did hear it straight after the Little Mix song, so I don't know whether that had any effect on me.
That would help a little bit.
So listening to me next week when I tell you how much I resent myself for saying that I like this song. The next one, the Black Keys, they're back at it again. They're going down south.
Oh, baby.
I'm back down south now. This is another cover, I presume,
The
from
album's covers.
the latest album that is all covers that we've already mentioned.
Cream.
Delta Cream, my favourite kind of cream.
Great.
Great. This was pretty chill. I don't really know what else to say on it. It's know what you're gonna get with the Black Keys. It was fine.
Yeah.
Another one just to put on in the background, like the first one kind of thing, and just for a
Yeah.
barbecue. Whack this on during barbie.
Oh, the best barbecue band. Black
Yeah.
Eyed
Sinking a
Yeah.
few
Black Eyed
Bud Lights
Peas.
to this.
Black Eyed Peas.
Black Keys.
Yeah, it was good,
Um,
if not unmemorable.
Oh,
But
Yeah,
it
it's
was,
one of them where
it was nice.
I guess it's not like this kind of song you would just put on, unless it came on kind of thing. But I thought it was really good.
I think most blues is like that though. Like I wouldn't go out my way to put it on. It's just if it's on, it has to have a vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good old blues track. But yeah, some of the guitar work was really good. Sounded really good.
The slide guitar part.
Yeah, the
yeah,
slide guitar part was fantastic. And his voice, our mate Dan, his voice sounds really good, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
damn
I'm looking
that.
forward to this album. Just to whack on and chill out to.
Have a Barbie to it.
Have a Barbie.
Fucking hell, we're going round in circles here.
In
James
circle.
Wrighton, everyone, is the next one. Cal's favourite. James Wrighton, that is. The song is Release Party. My quick thoughts, pretty funky. And had some Prince vibes, I thought.
I got Prince vibes as well. That's what I put.
I didn't really overly like it. But it didn't offend me.
That old chestnut.
That's one for your bingo card, ladies and gents.
Yeah, James Wrighton's last album was on my top 10 albums of the year last year. This was, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it as much as stuff off that, but I thought it was still good. I'm still excited to see where this next album's going to go. But yeah, I agree with the Prince vibes, particularly vocally, I thought.
Yes, that's where I got it mainly.
Good.
I'm gonna say that I also agree with the Prince vibes. Now you've said it.
Fucking mirrors all round, everyone.
I think there was aspects to this song that I thought were good, but I just don't really care for it at all, to be honest. As a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Really wish the
Very nice
Claxons
comment.
would come back. Just
Yeah.
to do an anniversary tour, not release new music. Just I want to hear Atlantis to Interzone live.
DJ!
I've never listened to anything from Claxons other than their first album.
Oh,
listened-
there's some decent stuff.
The one single from like the last album they did, I quite liked. I can't remember what it's called.
Show me a miracle.
Might have been that one.
There is no other time as well. They had
That was it. There is no other time.
Show me
I
a
like that
miracle
one.
was good as well, but they lost the edge.
Yeah, they had. It was.
You
like
went to
sort
bloody
of-
U2.
Bloody hell.
Oh, he started wrestling as well.
Speaking of you two, Cal, because you brought it up,
Oh God!
I have recently decided that I don't hate you two.
Yeah, U2 are class, especially the Joshua Tree.
Oh, thanks God.
Yeah, I saved the album. I liked it. I watched Rick Beato, which we may have mentioned on previous podcasts. He does like song breakdowns and everything. So I'm loving that. And he did one on. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Bless
Yeah.
Bono. He still hasn't found it.
Looking to this day.
And yeah, I maybe appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah,
And
the Joshua Tree is a very
I,
good album. Before he went dead pretentious and a bit.
Yeah,
dumpy.
well, and then I put on Vertigo.
Oh, great tune.
That just brings me so many
Very
memories.
good
that-
one, yeah.
Elevation as well, that's a banger. But talking of
Oh,
U2
yeah.
further, Inhaler are releasing a new track at midnight, so we'll talk about that next week. Good old Elijah.
Yeah, I saw that on Insta. Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Young Bonner.
Anyway,
Last
that's,
one.
last one
Last
from
one.
these list of singles. It's Nap Eyes with a cover of When I Come Around. The original being by Liam's favourite band, Green Day.
Love him.
Named after me.
Sorry?
Green Day named after me.
Green Day?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was alright,
I-
wasn't it? I'll go.
Yeah, didn't offend me.
I'm the Nap Eyes fan here. So I put this on here. I didn't realise it was a Green Day cover when I first heard it. Because it doesn't sound too dissimilar from Nap Eyes stuff. Really like the two albums they put out. I think the second album last year was in my honourable mentions. That was time. But yeah, I thought this was a good cover. I thought this, sounded pretty Nap Eyes. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've heard the original at some point. And
Definitely
I assume
heard
it
the
didn't
original,
sound like this. Really? Was it faster or was it a slow one? Was it one of the Green Day slow ones?
It was sort of mid-tempo.
Yeah. But I like what they do with it. As I say, I don't actually know if what they've done with it is new, but it sounds good anyway.
It was slightly different.
Yeah.
Personally, I thought it was a bit boring though compared to the original.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really a big Green Day fan, so I didn't really have a point of reference, but I could hear melodically it sounded quite Green Day from what I know as an outsider. But alas, I think that brings an end to this segment. Do we agree?
I
Alas.
do. The heat is weared off.
Well and truly gone thin. Bit nippy now, need a blanket.
It is. I'm gonna have to put scarf on, and take it with me to our album Spotlight. Oh, I'm chuffed pleased I brought that scarf, boys.
Oh, shut up.
Right here to Coral Island.
Oi!
Brought to you by
Oi.
The Coral.
Welcome
Surprise, surprise. This is our album Spotlight. Album Spotlight includes one album that we spotlight. There's a little summary of it for everyone listening at home. I hope you enjoy it. Callum, go ahead, honey. Take it away. Tell me your thoughts and feelings in words.
Thank you very much. We have covered a few of the Coral's tracks from this record as singles lately.
Did we?
We did.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I was not fussed on any of them, leading me to be very sceptical about the release of this double album, which I also would like to say is a concept album.
I'll allow
Say it
it.
then. I'll allow it.
It's a concept album, which
Allowed.
thank you. Which makes me realise why I wasn't really fussed about them as singles. Which begs the question, why do concept albums release singles? Because if they're supposed to be given or received as a full collective, that's how we should get them originally. But I digress. As a whole album, I think this is really, really quite good. It's a concept I can get behind. Gives me great imagery. Are you two muted?
I'll
'Cause
tell
I
you
can't hear
about great
Right.
imagery.
Okay.
Have you seen Liam stuffing this fucking rat?
I have.
That's
It's-
great imagery.
It really is quite disgusting and putting me off. That's why I was speaking like a robot a minute ago.
That's so full.
Yeah, it's a great concept album. It kind of the imagery I get when I listen to it is a mix of Clandidnopia mixed with Spooky Island from the Scooby Doo film.
Oh, I need to watch them again.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I
Oh,
watched
those
them not long
Scooby-Doo
ago,
movies.
and they genuinely hold up. They're so funny. I don't really think any of the tracks particularly stand out. However, Lover Undiscovered is probably my favourite. To contrast what Yanni said about skits, I actually think they really add to the album in this case because it gives that, that kind of like Ghost Train type feel. And I also believe that they were read out by his Ian Skeddy's granddad, which I think is quite interesting. It is obviously what you'd expect from the Coral stylistically. However, I do think it's a step forward from what I've heard from them recently. And I think to be releasing an album this good, 10 albums in, is quite an achievement. So yeah, I was quite a big fan of it. To be fair, that's
Well,
me.
I am shooketh.
Wow.
I would love. Oh my god, Liam.
Liam just
Fucking
licking
hell.
his hand from fucking wrist to fingerprint.
Yes, well said, Callie. That was easy, wasn't it?
Dirty bastard.
He's licking the plate now.
Dirty pig.
It's like he doesn't get fucking fed. Christ, he's never seen a rap
I
in his
don't.
life. Go on, Liam. It's the way we order things. Unfortunately,
perfect timing,
it's you now.
I'm done. I just had a lovely chicken wrap. It wasn't a wrap; it was too much.
I
Chicken.
felt like I had
was
it. Fucking watching you. Christ.
It was a chicken. Do you know what they have when they carry their food in like a thing over the shoulder, with like a stick on like a napkin?
Poor.
Yeah, all right. So fucking Mr. Tory.
Oh no, I need to know what I'm talking about now. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna shock everyone here.
Shook. Oh,
Oh,
he's
that's
dying.
a bit of wind now. When you're ready, Carl, you alright?
Oh, I thought you weren't a pussy.
I'm only kidding. I thought we were ready. So let me tell you what's on. Hang on.
Fucking hell, Liam.
I'm trying. Okay, so did I listen to this full album in full? I don't know. I don't remember.
The end. Thanks, Liam. That was.
I don't remember at which point I stopped listening to this album. I didn't listen to it many times. As mentioned before, been a bit busy. But I do remember Lover Undiscovered and Change Your Mind. So I would say they're the highlights. Definitely with the skits or the kind of interludes works really well from what I heard. And you can feel a kind of progression through the story, just like stylistically, musically progresses. It all sounds really good. Fine song to listen to. I don't really have much more to say.
Okay, that's fine.
That was more than I expected.
That's because I'm saying that's fine because I have even less to say.
Brilliant.
But I'm going to try and pad this out.
Don't worry,
for all it's worth.
Just talk from
Say
the
what
heart.
you see, man.
If you see it, say it.
Say it. Right. So, favourites. The game she plays. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. And I believe it's coming to me. Mist on the River. I like that one as well. My only thing about this is that I put this is pretty much just Blossoms but worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everything about this, apart from the skit, is it's Blossoms but worse.
You can tell that Ian Skelly is Blossom's
Yes.
producer, can't you?
I was just about to say, Cal. You took words
Cal,
right
you
out of my
just-
mouth.
you just
Thanks.
jumping
I'm trying to give my point of view here. Bloody hell, cheeky bastard. Yes, you can tell he produces for them. I said that myself. And in this case, just because the comment was made, the skits do fit. But
The skits fit.
the skits fit. But I think that's because, like you say, it's a concept album. And in my mind, if it's not a concept album, then don't have it. Don't have a skit on there. But if the
It's not
whole
part of the
album,
story.
if the album's telling the story, like a concept, then have them. I don't mind that.
I think that's often why they make sense on like rap albums, because they
Like To Pimp a Butterfly.
themselves are. I always think of like 2001.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are
yeah.
like little stories in themselves, or they lead into songs and
Yes.
stuff like that. It works really well.
Exactly.
But I kind of agree.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on skits in general. This was just harmless. It didn't really do a great deal for me. It was all right. It sounded fine. I didn't think his voice sounded that great, really. In parts, it was a little bit ropey. But I just couldn't stop thinking that Blossoms had done most of these songs and done it better.
I don't know, you know. There's definitely there's definitely similarities to Blossoms.
The thing is, though, if he's helping them, how much is the Blossoms just choral?
Yeah.
So
Is that what the choral would be if they were in today's time as a younger choral?
with just synth involved, well, more
Yeah.
heavily emphasised on the synth aspect.
So Blossoms are frauds. That's what we're saying.
That's what we discovered. yes.
They've colluded with the government
believe it's
to
the Blossoms,
fake
you know.
the COVID result.
It's the Blossoms, you know.
The Blossoms,
Yeah,
yeah, there's a
that's
few
what
of them.
that's what Colm says anyway.
No,
the
go
And I'm not going to tell a lie because I'd hate to do that.
Don't lie,
I
mate.
didn't finish this whole of this album.
Oh. See, I don't know
Well,
if I did.
Yeah, that leads me on to what I was going to say. I do think it was a bit long. I know it's a double album, but it was nearly an hour. And a lot
That's
of
too
it
much
did
for you.
sound... yeah, it is far too much for me. A lot of it did sound the same, but it was still pretty good. But I think after like halfway through the second side, I was just a bit like...
It's one of those where it makes sense as long being a concept album in the sense that it's like a film,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not like a film because you listen to it and therefore unless you're going to sit and listen to it, in
The
which
only
all your
medium-
attention's on the listening,
Yeah.
and then it's too long and seems boring.
Exactly. The
And
only
if you're doing
medium
other things, then you're missing it. Yeah.
is
Audio.
audio.
Yeah.
And
It'd be
obviously
good,
it's only
it would be
referencing-
good if it was accompanied by a little film. I don't know if that's what you're saying. I was miles away
Yeah.
then, but that'd be quite
Yeah.
nice.
Essentially, yeah. I just want to say, I think Vacancies are a good song as well. I know we covered that as a single, but I quite like that on
Yeah.
this album.
I do.
wasn't really
I will.
fussed as
I
a
didn't.
single.
I can remember that I didn't like the singles when we talked about them. I think I was pretty harsh on them. In this context, they suit it a lot better, and they don't upset me quite as much.
Oh, I'm glad you're not upset.
I'm not crying anymore.
Don't cry.
So yeah. Callum, I think that takes me back to you, mate. What's your
Back to you
score
in the
going to be?
studio, Cal.
I think I'm going to give this a very, very nice, plump 7 out of 10.
Lovely.
Lovely and plump. Oof.
Oh, it's my turn next, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Oh, it certainly is. Liam Godfrey with the score. Another 7 out of 10. I mean, don't take much credence on that, but I'm going to say something. Is
Okay.
credence the right word? Who knows?
I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10 because it wasn't
Okay.
anything new, like I've said, but it wasn't bad.
You just don't hear
So-
it like this anymore, you know? I think that's the... Oh, you do, actually.
So yeah, Liam, it's down to you, math friend.
Go on.
What's the mode, please?
The mode is 7.
What's the median
The median is 7.
and the mean?
The mean is being calculated as we speak, and it is 6.6 recurring
The number
of
of the mean, and the range.
is an easily 1. Single 1. 1 is the loneliest little number.
So
The 11.
there's all the scores, which of course are meaningless, as is everything.
No,
in
there was a
life.
mean. 6.6. Cool.
Now we're going to skip right on through unsigned till delivered. We're not going to cover that, but I do want to stress that if you do have any songs that you want to send us, please do. We'll get onto the socials in a minute.
We will.
But please, we'd like to hear as many unsigned artists as possible because we just want to rep you, pick you up, man. If your stuff's good, we'll bloody incorporate it into this podcast, and you'll fucking love it. All right. So
And if it's not, we'll laugh about it in the group
yeah,
chat.
you won't hear about it in the podcast. It's as simple as. Under Needle, there is nothing this week. We've all had to conserve our money because Thatcher's Britain. So the
Still feeling the bloody effects.
the closing segment of this little pod entitled Fools on the Hill podcast. This is where we normally would tell you our next week's album spotlight, but
Oh, yes,
Well-
we're ill prepared once again. Every
No,
week.
Very
no,
ill-prepared.
we're not ill prepared because
We're not.
Squid's album is coming out.
Oh, that's next week.
is that going to be the spotlight?
That gotta be the spotlight,
I
sure.
would say. Probably,
Okay,
yeah.
well, you've heard our thoughts on 3 of the songs, and next week you're going to hear our thoughts on all of the songs.
The album's called
Green
Bright
Field or something?
Green Field. By Squid.
Lovely.
Lovely stuff.
Lovely stuff.
So, listening to us next week for that and for all
Please.
the singles, including the ones that we've mentioned are going to be coming out, like that Inhaler one. But
Take
you're all buzzing to hear that. I know Liam
Short
is.
of
He's a
breath at the,
massive fan.
at the thought of
Oh,
it.
Oh, that's a serious issue, man. Don't be joking.
J Boke's
Um,
releasing a tune as well. Come on.
Oh, let's not mention that.
Bzz.
Insta, Facebook, find us there at Falls on a Hill Podcast. Twitter at Falls on a Hill Pod. YouTube, Falls on a Hill. There isn't going to be a video this week, but there are other videos. They're all nicely compact into playlists. So if you want to watch all of the previous Under the Needle videos, feel free and comment on them, like, subscribe, ding a bell, just ring it from afar. I don't know.
Ding, ding, ding.
You might be on Melancholy Hill, but it doesn't matter. Just ring a bell somewhere.
Ring my bell.
Ring his bell, and like I said, email us if you want. That's in our bios for everything that I've just mentioned, or just message us on any of those socials, and we'll tell you where to go.
Yeah,
We will tell you where to go, baby.
And that has been possibly one of the shortest podcasts of my entire life.
Well, yeah. And on that note, it's time to say goodbye
To
friends and lovers. What?
You at the moment, and on that note,
I didn't say it like that. Goodbye to friends and lovers and all between, and maybe see you next week on a field that's bright green. Good night, buddy.
oh,
Yeah, soak, marinate in that a little while, baby.
Good night, one and all.
cheerio.
Until a good night.
Like the cereal. Bye. Can you hear him?
Beautiful, mate. Spot on.
Go.
Callum, you on, yeah? No. Join the call. No, he's not.
He-
It's not like he's not, it doesn't say he's trying to be admitted. Oh, I'm clicking the corner. Oh, he is. Ding dong.
The witch is dead.
I'm back.
Thatcher, 6 foot under.
You sound like the start of a rave. Like you're about to drop.
Imagine a drop after that. That'd be so good. I don't know what I was talking about. I really don't know what I was talking about.
Cal, I've been wooed by your impression of Lana Del Rey during that
Yeah, it was
little
beautiful, mate.
interlude. Back honey.